Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
The world is full of weird and wonderful surprises. Just when you think you've got a hold of the universe, a scientist or archaeologist goes and finds something a little bit strange, crazy, or interesting. There are some things that have been found that are unsettling, and some of those unsettling things that have been found were found in Africa. Africa is the world's second largest and second most populous continent. Given the sheer size of the place, it's no wonder there have been all sorts of strange things found buried within its borders. Here are 10 unsettling discoveries in Africa nobody can explain. Number 10. Ruins of Gedi. Picture this. Can you imagine the town you're in now one day disappearing, never to be seen again? It can be quite a strange concept, which is what makes the ruins of Gedi along the Indian Ocean coast of eastern Kenya so enthralling. This historical site is one of many coastal settlements that exist from Mogadishu in Somalia all the way through to Mozambique Zambezi River. When the ruins of Gedi were discovered in 1920 by colonialists, they quickly became a hotbed for geologists, archaeologists, and historians. The ruins consist of a walled town, single-story stone houses, mosques, and even a palace. While the open area surrounding the ruins also had fashioned earth houses and stone pillar tombs which were separate from the main ruins area. The Gedi ruins mystery is that there isn't a lot of documentation on its existence. It wasn't associated with trade in the Indian Ocean, although the discovery of beads, coins, and pottery means it might have been more of a critical trade settlement than first thought. For some unknown reason, the settlement appears to have been abandoned around the 17th century. No one knows who lived there or even where they went next. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. Sky Blue Stone. Right when you might have thought that geologists had discovered all the different types of rocks and stones the world had to offer, Sierra Leone in West Africa had to go and pull one out of the hat. Well, in 1990, a geologist and archaeologist by the name Angelo Pittoni discovered a mysterious blue stone and soil dating back to 12,000 BC. Immediately, he sent parts of it to laboratories in Rome, Germany, Utrecht, Geneva, and Tokyo, and no one could provide an answer to what the sky blue stone was. Although what they could agree on, however, was that it was unlike anything they had ever seen. Moreover, it wasn't remotely similar to any rock. Surely it had to be artificial. What they did manage to find was that it consisted of oxygen, sodium, calcium, carbon, and silicone, which gives it a similar makeup to human-made products such as stucco or concrete. The blue color appears to be artificial. When locals were approached about the find, they didn't appear fazed. They had come across it while digging in the area before. This mystery stone seems to only come from soil layers that date back to around 12,000 BC, which means it could be a product from an ancient civilization that has yet to be discovered. The million-dollar question is, could there be more blue stones and interesting artifacts lurking below the soil's surface? Could it be aliens? Number 8. New Ancient Species. A paleoanthropological site spanning 180 square miles near Johannesburg, South Africa, has long been a honeypot for researchers. It was declared a World Heritage Site in 1999 and contains a series of limestone caves known as Sterkfontein. These caves alone claim the title of containing around a third of all discovered hominid fossils before 2010. However, the cradle of humankind is now known for something else, a new ancient human species discovery. Homo naledi, a previously unknown human species, was found in a particularly complex set of caves within the site in 2017. The bones of 15 hominids were unearthed but haven't been yet dated. They appear to have slender bodies and stand at about 1.5 meters tall. Oddly enough, they have a few distinctive features, but many are quite similar to modern-day humans. Number 7. Quartzite. Way early in 2019, researchers discovered a particular type of rock on a small island by Africa's eastern coast in Madagascar. There's no doubt that any new rock discovery is exciting. This one is even more so because it simply shouldn't be where it is. Columbia University researchers who were able to carry out the research courtesy of the National Geographic Society grant discovered quartzite on the island when it's traditionally only found in places with high pressures and high temperatures. The find is antithetical to plate tectonics, and quartzite isn't found traditionally on volcanic islands. In this instance, however, the researchers found that it made up half of a mountain on Antoine Island. It's pretty amazing to think that a rock that shouldn't even be where it was could form such a significant part of an island. Columbia University geochemist Cornelia said the presence of the rock was interesting, but it bothered her that she didn't know how it got there. But now that they found quartzite where it shouldn't be, they're dedicated to finding out why. Number 6. Old tools in Kenya. Have you ever experienced the frustration of taking a wrong turn while driving only to end up where you don't want to be? This same mistake ended up being a game changer for a team of researchers. Stony Brook University's archaeologist Sonia Harmond and her team had been on their way to a fossil site near Lake Turkana in Kenya when they took a wrong turn. Instead of arriving at the discovery site of the 3.2 to 3.5 million year old fossil, Kenyanthropus platyops, they found themselves in an unexplored region. Given that it was untouched, they decided to survey it and discovered stone artifacts which they called Bocconi 3. Around a year later, they prepared for a full excavation of the site. They found at least 20 artifacts. The large tools appear to have been made and then discarded on site, but no human remains were found nearby or animal remains with weapon-like marks on them. No one knows what the purpose of those tools were, but they're thought to be 3.3 million years old, predating the earliest tools ever discovered by 700,000 years. Number 5. Stone Circle of Senegambia. The Senegambia stone circles are thought to be the largest concentration of stone circles like it anywhere in the world. But there's still much that researchers don't know about them. They span 200 miles of the River Gambia and have a radius of 62 miles. There are thought to be at least 1,000 stone circles and related items spread out over the area. Researchers don't know when they were built, only estimating them to be between 400 and 3,000 years old. Alongside the stone circles, the area is also littered with stonework grave pieces of metal and pottery. The stone circles are separated into 4 main areas with around 29,000 stones, 2,000 smaller sites, and 17,000 monuments dotted around them. The monuments feature blocks and pillars while the stones stand apart by themselves or in rows. While researchers don't know everything about the stone circles of Senegambia, they do know that they are a sign of civilized society. To complete these structures, they would have required labor tools and even quarries. Some of the pillars also weigh up to 7 tons, which shows that whoever created these sites were dedicated to the job at hand. Number 4. Great Pyramid of Giza. Have you ever got bored building a snow igloo or a mound of dirt or a sandcastle and gave up? Maybe went inside and you've got to hand it to these guys and gals who created the Great Pyramid of Giza? This 481-foot structure is one of the largest pyramids in the world and also claims the title of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and one of the oldest. Many Egyptologists think the pyramid was built over a 10 to 20 year period as a tomb, with construction finishing around 2560 BC. It featured limestone casting stones on the outer surface, which isn't what you see today, and has 3 chambers on the inside. No one knows for sure how they built the Pyramid of Giza, but most people believe that those who worked on the construction would move stones from a quarry, drag them to the pyramid, and lift them into place. If you thought your gym workout weights were strenuous, then spare thought for those who had to lift pyramid rocks. Number 3. Bocconi Ruins. If there has to be any archaeological site that has bewildered scientists for decades, it would have to be the Bocconi Ruins in Mpumalanga Island, Africa. Thought to exist for over 200,000 years, the supposed lost city of Africa in Machado Dorp has many travelers and researchers scratching their heads from the air. The ruins appear to all be connected with passages and mazes over hundreds of miles. From the ground, it gets even more interesting. There are stone terraces, fields, roads, and settlements, as well as evidence that ancient Bocconi people were in the area far earlier than first thought. The Bocconi ruins are indeed a puzzle, especially when it comes to identifying one of the more standout features of the site. Each of the monoliths matches a star formation of Orion's belt, which means it may have been a way in which to chart time, or communicate with the outside world? And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. So if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. Cluster bombs. This photo was taken in 2006 on November 2nd. And it isn't an unsettling discovery in Africa, but one interesting discovery in the Middle East. It's a cluster bomb unit containing more than 600 cluster bombs in the southern village of Wazaya, Lebanon. Number 1. Namib Desert Fairy Circle. It's like a desert version of crop circles, but on a much larger scale. The Namib Desert in southern Africa is home to some somewhat strange fairy circles that have baffled scientists for years. Between luscious grasses that span for 1,100 miles is a series of barren rings that are between 2 and 15 meters in diameter. Why is it that these circles exist? Why does grass grow all around them but not in the rings? Scientists are starting to realize that there are two possible theories. Plants could be fighting for survival, and that smaller plants can't get the water they need. As the plant life thins out, it dies away at the edges of a patch of grass, creating gaps at regular intervals. But while the grasses are competing for water, there's another battle going on underneath, and it's between the termite colonies. The researchers believe that when termites burrow underground, create tunnels, and look for food, they destroy vegetation on the surface. They also fight for territory, which results in one colony taking out another, and producing gaps in the ground without termite colonies, almost like a no man's land for termites. Either one of these theories could be correct, or they both could be wrong. But one thing's for sure, these fairy circles do look spectacular from a distance. Now imagine these are just a few finds in Africa. And what about the discoveries in other continents? Do you know of any other cool finds? Let us know in the comments section down below.